Welcome to Combat Mission Battle for Normandy. This is the 7 wins scenario based on Operation Bluecoat. We'll go through the briefing. Situation: it is now 08:1500 hours, 30th of July. For the last 5 or 6 weeks, the front just south of Cormont has been quiet. Now, with Bradley breaking through at St. Lo, Montgomery has ordered Operation Bluecoat, an attack along the inter-Allied boundary to protect the Americans' flank. 15th Scottish Division is being supported by our friends in 6th Guards Tank Brigade and their Churchills. During Phase 1, the 9th Cameronians are attacking southwest from Cormont to breach the enemy's main defensive line around Le Vieux-Bourg and Septvin. A and C companies led the initial advance and are now sorting themselves out after capturing Le Vieux-Bourg at about 07:45 hours. There has been no radio contact with D Company since 06:30, and no one seems to know where they've gotten to. Septvin, the battalion objective for Phase 1, remains in enemy hands. The weather this morning is warm and dry, with a thick haze generated by the artillery preparation. Mission: B Company will clear Septvin no later than 1000 hours in order to secure the start line for Phase 2 of Operation Bluecoat. Friendly forces: B Company hasn't encountered any enemy yet this morning and is at 80% strength. Attached to the company are a section from Carrier Platoon, some engineers from 20th Field Company, and the battalion mortars are available. An FO from 320 Battery is under command and has access to his own battery of 25-pounders as well as a battery of 5.5-inch gun howitzers from 61st Medium Regiment. 1st Squadron 4th Grenadier Guards are in support. However, they've had a very bad morning with mines and are down to a single tank. 2 troops from 2 Squadron and a troop of Sherman Crab flail mine clearing tanks from 1st Lothians are currently shaking themselves out in Le Vieux-Bourg and should be here in 10 to 20 minutes. Enemy forces: 2nd Battalion 752nd Grenadier Regiment is holding the sector and appears to have employed a defence in depth. Le Vieux-Bourg was held by a reinforced company group, and it is likely that Septvin will be too. Further extensive anti-tank and anti-personnel minefields must be expected. Hostile mortars and artillery have already taken a heavy toll on A and C Company, and this fire shows no sign of abating. Plan: B Company doesn't have enough infantry available to clear Septvin by itself at tolerable cost, so you must use the Churchills and artillery to shoot them onto their objectives. There are 3 viable routes: straight up the main road, left flanking through Le Laurent, or right flanking via the Le Coudray road. Each route has advantages and disadvantages, but you only have the strength to advance along one of them. Use the crabs once they've arrived to lead the advance along any unproven routes, and reserve the engineers to open bypasses and clear mines. Preserve friendly forces, less than 33% casualties, 100 points. Destroy enemy units up to 200 points. Occupy terrain objectives up to 700 points. Note: CMBN does not include flail tanks, so regular Shermans have been used instead. The enemy will not get points for the destruction of these tanks, so use them aggressively where you suspect mines, if I can say it. Objectives: objective SOM, destroy active forces, occupy ground objectives by 7. So it looks like the big thing is getting on those 7 objectives for a total of 520 points. So we'll have a look at the map. Okay, here we are by what I believe is the lone Sherman that we have. A pretty detailed map. There's a lot of objectives, and there's not a lot of visibility. Okay, so what are we doing here? This is going to be tricky. As I said, there's not an awful lot of visibility going on here. We have 1 tank Oh, sorry, I forgot to. Oh, is that just what I saw earlier? Yeah. Is that a scout? Not sure how good the Bren carries are going to be for us. Okay, so what routes have we got in here? What is it trying for us to do? I don't like trying to fight my way through a company down that side. Go down this road here, capture Mons. Obviously these are the big objectives to capture. It's like the most open way of going into it. And if I go down that route, I can use the range weapons a bit better. Oh, look at this building here. No windows on that side. See, it's going to be of limited use. This trees might well block line of sight. This is going to be a tricky one. What have we got here actually? Is this yeah, this is just a rifle platoon. So we've got 3 infantry platoons which are spread out all over the place. Hopefully I'll be able to switch them all into one area. I don't like the idea of going down this road because it's going to be so easy to just pick up ambushes all along the way here. Could quite easily get into low range ambushes. So I don't like the look of that route. Let's have a look at that. That is just so obvious a short range ambush spot, and if we're short of infantry to begin with, could very quickly lose it there. So I don't like that. You've really got to clear down that left hand side, go through, secure that, and then you've got that flank as well is going to be open, so you have to go really deep onto that flank and come wheeling across there, and I wouldn't want to go down that road without having secured at least Mons East. You'd have to take Mons West first. Get one platoon in there, then get another platoon in Mons East. So you got 2 platoons straight away bottled up. And then you got your reserve pushing forward. It'd be very difficult. Well, I suppose you could bring that Churchill up and just shoot into Mons East and also Mons West. It's a possibility. But again, you've got to be concerned about your flank there. Alternatively, going down this road, should be easier. It's a question of how on earth we'd get onto the road to begin with. So I need to bring the Churchill forward on that. There's a gate there. Bring the Churchill around onto this road. Drive it forward. The infantry just moving across. I'd have to be wary of this farmhouse here, so I'd have to try to set up maybe the mortars, or a spotter for the mortars around here. But then the problem there is you're coming up that hill and you just can't see anything. You're coming up that hill, possibly see if I can keep it straight, and you're not going to see anything until you're at this wall, which is pretty short range. So the line of sight will be a problem that way. Whereas if we go this way, what's the line of sight going to be? I've got to think about the ranged weapons. I've got to be thinking about the artillery and bringing that to bear. And any forward observer and the infantry is going to have to come from the same positions. It looks as though there might be better line of sight there on that flank. But yeah, again, there's no. I don't know. It's all very well giving me a forward observer, but you've got to give me a position where I can actually spot something. And as it stands at the moment, I can't see where I can put that forward observer. So I'm not really sure which way to go with this. It's not a yeah, looks like a target reference point there. So, although I think they all have target reference points, if I'm not mistaken. Let's see if I can find some clues as to what the scenario designer is thinking. Okay, so there's the target reference point there. Let's spot the marker on the ground. There it is. Another one there. Another one there. That's interesting. I wonder why they've put that one there. That deters me, having that one so far forward. But when said that, there's one there as well. Yeah, great having a target reference point, but I need to be able to spot it, and I'm not at all sure where I can spot that from, to be perfectly honest. These target reference points are great things, but you've got to be able to see them to use them, I believe. See if I can get any clues from looking at this. I have a feeling it just affects Interesting. Okay, so we can see that from there, at least on a spotting basis. That's the objective going to be here. We just hit that hard early on, get a platoon in there, bring some mortars down on this forward tree line. It's going to be a tough one. I mean, I couldn't push down that road without having secured that left flank as well as the right flank. Well, that would be the objective there, then work a third platoon forward bit by bit and just try looking for spotting positions. I don't like that right approach via Messine, because it's uphill and your line of sight is going to be all sorts of problems. But if we can get into these buildings here, maybe use the scouts to check out that flank and to identify any targets. As there's no target reference point in that area. And then bring the Churchill down this road. That kind of seems like the best option there. What am I going to do with these burn carriers? Well, I can use those to a certain extent to provide fire that's reasonably open. Again, that is the line of sight up that hill is so poor. I'm not convinced I'm going to be able to actually get any good use out of those. So yeah, I'm going to go for this left flank approach and see how that works out. Now just to do all the setup work. Okay, so I'm set up for the push into Mons West with one platoon. I've got the where are we? The forward observers calling in medium bombardment in this area. I'm expecting there to be some infantry in there, so I want to clean that up. Got the sharpshooter moving forward slowly into this corner of this field, see if we can spot anything in this area. I'll look to bring the scout forward along this edge, gradually work his way forward. Which platoon is this one here? 10 platoon will just gradually move forward. I've got a section moving fast here, and I'll just gradually bound those forward. Maybe end up putting smoke down in this area to cover the advance into Object Mons, but also want to bring this Churchill down the road and look to fire into Mons. It's a lot of time, so I don't need to rush things. I'm keeping these burn carriers pretty much in reserve at the moment. They can just push quickly into that area. But it is all going down this road, which is a bit risky. I'm expecting a lot of mines. I'm expecting a lot of enemy artillery and mortars. So although we've got a lot of time, I don't want to end up being too static. It's important to get into here as quickly as we can. And as I say, just find a way to screen this flank and then look to drive forward along this road, bringing direct fire to bear as much as possible. Well, that is the plan, and we'll see how it goes through the first few turns.